Imagine trying to focus on work or school or even just a normal conversation, but your brain keeps turning everything into a romance anime scene. Two characters stand next to each other? Oh, yes. Obviously, they are in love now. Someone smiles politely. Marriage arc incoming. If that sounds familiar, your brain is really good at chasing dopamine. And today we're gonna talk about how to desexualize your brain when your mind keeps drifting into thoughts that you didn't even ask for. Before we begin, we wanna share something important. At Psych2Go, our mission is to make psychology easier to understand so people can better understand their minds, relationships, and emotional experiences. If our videos have helped you in any way, consider subscribing and helping us reach 15 million subscribers. In return, we promise to keep doing what matters to this community, tackling topics that are sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes taboo, but very real and genuinely helpful. And today's topic is definitely one of those, because many of you have requested this video. And before anyone says it, no, this is not Creep2Go. We thought about the name once, but apparently someone already took it. Just kidding. But with the taboo stuff, sometimes you gotta keep it lighthearted. If you are here because your brain sometimes gets stuck in lust mode, don't worry, you're not alone. And for those of you watching who rarely feel sexual attraction or lust, you might actually be more blessed than you realize. Because when the brain gets stuck chasing those thoughts constantly, it can make focus, relationships, and emotional clarity surprisingly difficult. So let's talk about why it happens and how to take your brain back. 1, stop feeding the algorithm in your brain. Your brain works a lot like a recommendation algorithm. The more you click something, the more it shows up. This is how social media works, and it's also how your attention system works. If someone constantly consumes sexualized media, suggestive content, or explicit material, the brain starts associating normal situations with those same cues. Suddenly your brain becomes like a Netflix algorithm that only knows one genre. Two characters talking, romance arc. Someone being nice, potential love interest. Psychologists call this conditioning through repeated reward cues. Your brain learns what gets dopamine and tries to repeat it. The solution isn't shame though. It's just changing the inputs. Reduce the cues. Over time, the brain stops expecting them everywhere. 2, train your brain to shift gears. When intrusive thoughts appear, many people try to fight them aggressively, but that often makes them stronger. Psychologists call this ironic process theory, which basically means trying not to think about something makes you think about it more. Instead, treat your thoughts like a car drifting slightly off course. Don't panic, simply steer back. When a thought appears, notice it, let it pass. Redirect your attention, just like switching quests in a video game. Your brain can't fully focus on two things at once. 3, build other sources of dopamine. Sometimes the brain fixates on sexual thoughts because it's the easiest dopamine source available. When life feels repetitive or stressful, the brain grabs whatever feels rewarding the fastest. But the brain is surprisingly flexible. When people develop other sources of stimulation like creative hobbies, exercise, learning new skills, social connection, the reward system becomes more balanced. Suddenly the brain isn't stuck looping the same thoughts over and over. Think of it like an RPG character unlocking new skill trees. Your brain stops spamming the same ability. 4, humanize instead of objectify. Sometimes sexualized thinking happens because the brain starts seeing people as attractions rather than individuals. Psychologists call this objectification bias. A helpful shift is intentionally reminding yourself that every person you see has their own fears, their own goals, their own complicated life story, and this activates empathy networks in the brain. And interestingly, empathy tends to reduce objectifying thoughts. In other words, your brain stops seeing people as characters in a romance arc and starts seeing them as full humans. 5, let the thought pass. Here's something important. Having a sexual thought doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you creepy. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Thoughts are just mental events. The more calmly you allow them to pass without reacting, the less power they have. Over time, your brain learns, this thought isn't important, and it stops bringing it up so often. Your brain is designed to chase rewards. It's not a flaw, it's biology. But attention is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. With new inputs, new habits, and new focus, your brain can learn to care about many other meaningful parts of life. If you clicked this video expecting creep to go, sorry to disappoint. But if you came here looking for psychology that helps you understand your mind a little better, you're in the right place. If this video helped you, consider subscribing and helping us reach 15 million subscribers. And you can explore psychology tools and resources on psych2go.shop, which helps support the work we do here. And if there's a topic you've been curious about, even if it feels a little awkward to ask, let us know. Sometimes the questions people hesitate to talk about are the ones that help the most people. Thanks for being here. And until next time, take care.